Welcome to Stress Awareness Month 2012. For the first time in the country, International Stress Management Association India inaugurated this historic event at Ravindra Bharathi, Hyderabad, to bring stress awareness among all sections of the people for their effective stress management.
I request Dr. Geervani madam to talk the importance of this stress, because she had a lot of experience, the importance of this stress awareness month.
Good morning, everybody. Respected P.V.R. Prasad Garu, Mr. Sudhir, Mr. Appaya Garu, media and friends. I am not a person who went through any stress, but I was assessments, exercises, helping individuals, institutions, groups of people, and developing indicators for assessment, developing processes for relieving stress, mostly in terms of Indian systems and Indian ways. We did not adopt methods which are totally alien to us, I mean the Western methods, but went by a combination of Western and Indian, or some totally Indian methods of relieving stress. Now, everyone will wonder what is stress, and I also wondered what is stress when we first, what do we say? It's just state of mind, that's all. I mean, to explain in a very simple terms, it's a state of mind. When we ask people what is mind, mind is a flow of thoughts. So when we say it's a state of mind, probably when certain kinds of thoughts flow, we are in a stressful state. I mean, I'm neither a psychologist nor a social scientist. I'm a retired professor of nutrition. It's my own individual point of view I try to define. So it's just a state of mind, it's a state of thoughts. Now when we try to analyze our own mind, we know part of the mind. We do not know some part of the mind. Others know some part of our mind, but they may not express. We know some part of the mind at some time, some part of the mind some other time. And there is one part which we do not know at all. But maybe we know it at a very, very late age, and it becomes useless for us. Now, why is this state, why are people caught up in a particular state that creates stress? When we look at it, it is, to me, a difference between, it's the gap between the goal that we want to achieve and what we have achieved. Wherever we are from that state to the goal we want to achieve. If the gap is larger, the stress is more. The gap is narrower, the stress is less. I just like to repeat once again, because this is my own understanding of it. When we establish a goal, or when we want to achieve something, or when we want to reach a particular state, or state of mind, or status, or state of intellect, or state of accomplishment, from that to the state in which we are. If you have really reached that state, there is no stress. But I am sure even a sage will have some state to achieve and he has not achieved. So let us presume that there is a gap between what we want to achieve and what we have achieved, and wherever we are, in whichever age, social status, economic status, intellect, and whatever. So the larger the gap, the greater is the stress. And why this gap? Either our goal must be too high to accomplish, we have set up too big a goal which cannot be accomplished in one lifetime, or with the kind of intellect, or with the kind of emotional balance that we have, or the situation, the country in which you are born, the circumstance. You can add any number. There is always this gap. And we always try to go up and reduce the gap. This is how life goes on. And in the process, when we set a goal beyond our reach, we certainly will go through the stress. Now, a question may come, did people in the past go through the same kind of stress, or is it only in this generation? To me, it appears the stress is more in the modern era than the ancient era. The reason being, we had a good family system. Family counseling was very good. We lived in a joint family. There were always elders who advised youngsters who listened to the elders. Now neither the elders are living with the youngsters nor they advise, nor the youngsters respect the advice of the respect the opinion of the experience in society. This situation has come because of too much of individuality that is growing in every individual. For certain type of accomplishment, individuality is important, but for certain value systems, too much of individuality will cause certain amount of stress. Now going back to how do we reduce this? Now we can't run back to joint family. If we can, it will be very good. That's very simple, but that's not going to happen. Then we don't have social counselors also. Why social counselors? We don't have counselors in the real sense. Uday Kumar asked me to refer particularly the stress that people go through in education system, so I restrict my comments only to that. Many people ask me, because I was in education field, who is at stress in education system? Is it the students or parents or teachers? I said children are not at stress. It is the parents who are at stress. Parents are at stress because they have set a goal for themselves. The parent may be a second class or a third class, I am not trying to belittle anyone, but he wants the child to be a gold medalist or a state level champion. There is certain amount of genetic potentiality in every one of us. Even twins do not have the same intellect. It's proven fact. So we should, when we set our target or goal, we should be very careful to see whether it is achievable and whether we have the means to achieve and so on. So I find the stress is more among the parents. It is created because of this inadequate understanding of the way in which the process of achieving a particular objective or goal that one has set in. Secondly, there is some kind of a speed in achievement. I always wondered, why should everybody finish 10th class in 10 classes only? Why can't they take 11 or 12 years? At the university level, one can do a BSc in all countries, including India, no more than 4 years. Even 10 years are allowed to complete. It's only if you complete 10 years and still don't finish, university sends you out. But in high school, you have to finish 10 classes in 10 years. Now that causes a lot of stress in the 8th, 9th and 10th classes I have seen among the parents. And when parents are at stress because they are constantly comparing with other parents, other children from different backgrounds. So when it comes to university, students are not counseled before they take a decision as to what stream, of course, they want to fit in. So they get into a course most often for which they have no passion, for which they have no talent, for which they are not prepared to work hard. And then when you get in, naturally, it is a natural process to go through stress. I feel instead of taking care of stress after it has been caused, much effort has to be put in not to create stress and to make efforts to see that good counseling is done before a decision is made, because if decision making is causing more stress. When you make a right decision then regarding the goal or regarding the process or regarding the other inputs that are required to achieve the goal, then you certainly don't have this stress. But you might say, then why all this? Because stress is first mental, then it becomes physical. Then it becomes, when it becomes a physical aspect, you are unable to do any work to the best of your ability. Therefore, there is the mental stress results in physical stress, and both together will reduce the intellect of the individual, and when all both mental ability, intellectual ability and physical ability are reduced, the stress becomes even more. I'm sure you would hear from more experienced people like Dr. Shri P.V. R.K. Prasad Garu, who has a life full of experience dealing with many more wide aspects and subjects. What his experience is on stress, I would think I should limit it here. But I'm sure having entered into the modern era, modern way of living, we have to go through and become aware of stress and know how to get out of the stress. And if we limit it to Indian methods, we will certainly be better. We certainly need this kind of management of stress to do better and to come out of it also. Thank you very much.